This is Beyond the Veil with Norman Meredith.
Hey folks, welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Veil with me, Norman, your host and co-host and producer Ed.
What are you doing on this beautiful Saturday, Norm?
Chilling out with you.
Well, that's obvious.
This is a bonus episode.
Bonus.
I thought we would talk about what President Barack Obama happened to say just the other week on a podcast he was being interviewed.
Yeah?
Do you know what he was talking about?
What did your favorite president tell us?
Well, on this one time, he'd be my favorite president.
Yeah, on this topic, obviously.
Because he actually come out and surprised me by mentioning that, yes, there are aliens. The U.S. government has aliens.
And he was kind of laissez-faire about it. You know, he's just like, yeah, you know, it's a thing.
So, you know, it's not, and he's not talking about the illegal time that sneak into the United States. He's talking about, and I'm going to mention a couple terms because it's not just extraterrestrial.
Yeah.
Okay, he's talking about extraterrestrial aliens and or interdimensional aliens, or he could even possibly say time travelers, because, you know, the way other UFO enthusiasts / researchers state that some of our visitors that come to visit Earth or our reality come from other places in our universe. Some may come from an alternate universe, and there's also supposedly the possibility some of these folks are time travelers that have come back to see how we didn't wipe ourselves off the face of the earth. You know, they're scratching their head in the future. How are we still here, and how did our ancestors manage not to blow ourselves completely and turn the earth into a radioactive cinder?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so, and due to the fact that, you know, you've heard of the Roswell crash, and believe it or not, there was a crash just outside Roswell at the same time, two of them, from what I found out doing some research. And so what was recovered was alien craft, dead bodies, and supposedly one body that was still alive. And then there's also been reports over the years when other crashes have occurred that crash retrieval teams have found injured aliens, dead bodies, once again, as we talked about. And then supposedly there was a program called Operation Scorpio in the 1960s where aliens did a exchange with us. They exchanged an alien ambassador to Earth, and we sent between 10 and 12 volunteers from the U.S. military to spend a 10-year trip on their planet. Yeah, seriously.
So that's where Hillary's been this whole time?
No, Hillary's been in another place, and I ain't going to say where.
Epstein Island?
Well, that too.
That's a whole nother thing.
That's a whole nother thing. But, you know, these astronauts, volunteers, whatever you want to call them, they spent about a year in travel to get to this planet the aliens have, and spent about 10 years there. And that's another story for another time and place. But what we're going to do is we're going to roll this small clip that I borrowed from MSNBC. It's about 2 minutes, I think, or less, where former President Barack Obama talks about, in a very casual manner, about U.S. and aliens.
And I've got hold on. Keep going on.
So in this video, Mr. Obama is very relaxed, he's very chilled, and he's very matter of fact on the subject of aliens. And when he was a candidate running for office, he actually come out and said, yes, he would bring to the surface anything about unidentified flying objects and extraterrestrials. You'll never hear me say UAP because that says unidentified aerial phenomenon, and these are not a phenomenon. Phenomenon to me is a weather event. All right. And let's see what you got for us, please.
All right, here we go.
Here we go, folks. We're going to share with y'all.
Are aliens real?
They're real, but I haven't seen them, and they're not being kept in, what is it?
Area 51?
Area 51. There's no underground facility unless there's this enormous conspiracy and they hid it from the President of the United States.
That answer quickly generating 26 million views online and lots of follow-up questions.
Is this something that we should be concerned about?
Back in 2007, candidate Obama sounded far less certain about life beyond Earth.
I don't know, and I don't presume to know.
What was the first question you wanted answered when you became president?
Where are the aliens?
Where are the aliens?
But the former president, who has long declared himself a fan of Star Trek's highly logical alien Spock, quickly clarifying, "I saw no evidence during my presidency that extraterrestrials have made contact with us." Really? So the truth, it seems, may still be out there, but Barack Obama, just like the rest of us, doesn't know it for sure. Really.
And Garrett Haake joins us tonight from the White House.
All right, folks, if you know anything about when people tell the truth and lie, former President Obama was not lying, because if he was lying, he'd have been looking to the right with his eyes. He was dead on, dead straight. He was telling the truth as he knew it. And so, yes, people, he basically admitted there are aliens. Even though he didn't get actual confirmation, he was told enough to let us know that something is out there, whether it's extraterrestrial, interdimensional, or time traveler. Okay, what do you think about that, Ed?
I don't know. He's not the only president who, had been saying some things, and it's always up for debate. That's for sure.
And President Trump came out later on Air Force One saying, basically he acknowledged what Barack said without acknowledging it by saying President Obama had leaked classified information by stating that, giving that information out. So, but Trump did not confirm or deny the existence of aliens, but he did confirm that President Obama did give away classified information about the existence of aliens. So that itself says, yes, Mary, there is aliens, so you can go to sleep tonight in Virginia.
Well, do you want to listen to this clip?
Let's go ahead and throw that clip up.
All right, here we go.
Something that got a lot of attention this week. Barack Obama said that aliens are real. Have you seen any evidence of non-human visitors to Earth?
Well, he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that.
So aliens are real?
Well, I don't know if they're real or not. I can tell you he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that. He made a big mistake. He took it out of classified information. No, I don't have an opinion on it. I never talk about it. A lot of people do. A lot of people believe it. You believe it, Peter?
Well, if the president can declassify anything that he wants to,
Well,
so if
maybe
you
I'll
want
get
to
him
make
out
an
of trouble.
announcement.
I may get him out of trouble by declassifying.
We know illegal aliens are real.
Yeah, illegal. Only illegals. What else?
All right, President Trump commenting.
All right, and when I told you about tells when people are lying, Trump told two lies. One he said about aliens not being there, and the other one, he looked to the right because he had to stop and think.
And the other part is, he said it was classified information 3 times. So if it's classified information,
That's an acknowledgement.
there you go.
He's
exactly.
acknowledging the fact of aliens.
Yeah.
And
100%.
I've got a few things. I'm going to show you some UFOs. I'm going to show you some aliens that are AI or photo created, okay, or artistic created, and talk just a little bit about them. But this has been a long time story over the years. Is people have literally have made first contact with aliens. Look at Stephen Berg's film Encounters of the Third Kind. I still believe to this day that movie was created at a time where they thought everybody was ready for first contact, and that's why that film came out.
Or even so, maybe they made the film to be like, haha, see, we're like spoofing, we're telling you the truth, even though we're making like we're lying about it, just to be like, yeah, it's like in a sarcastic way, but it's actually going on.
But the thing is, do you know who one of the technical advisors was on Encounters of the Third Kind?
I don't know who.
Dr. Heinrich, who was behind
NASA?
He was a astrophysicist, and originally he was a debunker for Project Blue Book.
Oh, okay.
And then, because of all the work he was doing, he became a believer into it.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who say, we don't we don't believe like the Bible and stuff, but the more they dig into the archaeological records and all those sort of things, is like they come to be like, this has to have happened.
Well, let me tell you a story. You know I'm an EMT, and I was an EMT when I started age 18. I went to a house fire to support the fire department, and one of the firemen came up to me and showed me a pristine white Bible after this house burnt to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Pulled it out from inside the middle of the house.
Yep.
Now tell me that wasn't a divine protection.
Well, also there was, I don't want to say recently, but a few years ago, right over here at Tidal Wave Car Wash in Pickens, guy was pulling in his truck.
Mm-hmm.
That thing lit up on fire. That whole truck burnt to the ground.
Mm-hmm. Nothing wrong with him.
Nothing wrong with the Bible that was under his seat.
I'll bet. No, I'm saying
I had the video of it. It's crazy. Go on Pickens Local and check it out today.
Do it, folks. Really,
shameless plug, man.
I don't mind. But, small miracles like that happen. People don't realize it. But getting back to our story, let's show up some of these, you see these beautiful blonde people here. These are what they're called Nordics. They're similar to humans.
Yeah, they're like Norwegian, man.
They're like 6'6", 7 foot tall, blonde hair, blue eyes. These are folks that Hitler, I hate to bring him into this.
Bring him in.
But he thought we were part of their lineage and so forth, part of the Star Child or Star Children. We were their children, and they had something to do with us as being Aryans for the German race. But these folks, from what UFO lore says, they are observers. They don't get involved in the supposed secret wars that go on in the UFO lore, where the reptilians and grays versus the others, and us being the pawns in the middle.
Right.
These guys are like the Swedish. Who are like neutral observers.
Those would be the Swiss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's who these guys are.
Yeah, they would be Switzerland. I am Switzerland. I'm neutral.
All right, let's go on. I'm going to show you some other things here.
All right.
This is the famous Tic Tac video from back in 2017, I believe, where U.S. Navy pilots were in pursuit of an aircraft that was outmaneuvering them left and right. And if I recall right, it went into the water and disappeared even. I mean, this is the most famous picture that has, in years, has opened up a lot of UFO debate, and has caused some congressmen and senators to say we need more information on what's going on.
Yep.
Because there's been rumors that maybe this was a black project that's being done by a civilian corporation, and if it's done by a civilian corporation, they don't have to tell us jack.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how the military gets around a lot of things, is they incorporate, or CIA or other black agencies, they get corporations to do their bidding, and they don't fall under Congress oversight. All right, let's bring up some other critters here. All right, these are, and I didn't really know about the mantids until later, but there's a race of giant mantids. They're praying mantises, basically.
Yeah.
And I haven't really heard too much about them. Some have them saying they're like observers / scientists that come here. And then you got the typical gray that everybody's heard about. But there's 3 types of grays. There's a short, there's a medium, and a tall. And what UFO lore says is the short ones that look like children, are drones. They're supposedly mindless and are controlled by the taller ones, which would be like the king or queens, barons, dukes, whatever you want to call it. And the middle ones are like just regular workers. They have intelligence, they do things and all that. But the ones that are in charge are the taller grays. And they're the ones that are supposedly crossbreeding us, which creates hybrid children. And that's another subject to go on. All right, let's see. We got a UFO, I think, coming up next. All right, this is it
looks like it's out of the window of a 747.
Yeah, it's a interpretation of a encounter over a city or a town. You notice the buildings underneath, where a lot of people sometimes see these UFOs are outside of a plane. And I think, why would they do this? They want to be seen sometimes. That's why you see them outside aircraft.
That's right.
They want to be seen. It's like trying to say, okay, hey, we're here, but we ignore it. Or we write it off as some sort of phenomenon, light glare, or Venus in retrograde, or something like that. I mean,
Venus in retrograde.
yeah, I'm serious. I mean, there's a lot of things that you were just seeing Venus last night.
Likely excuses.
Yeah, and then you go look up the astronomical charts and find, well, Venus is not in a position to be seen, so how in the heck was I seeing Venus if it wasn't in the sky? You know what I'm saying?
I follow you on that.
So it's just, I'm going to show you some other pictures of some aliens. This here is, believe it or not, a alien dwarf type creature that was seen in Brazil. A very hairy creature with some claws, giant red eyes. And there's very few sightings of it, but it's just one of those I wanted to bring up and show of an alien type creature that has been encountered. And then we'll come up to another UFO.
Nope.
Oh, okay. Aliens. Okay, on the left is...
Reptilian. Or that's a tall gray and a reptilian on the right.
Exactly. Now, there's different stories when it comes to reptilians. You know, if you ever followed William Nighthawk on his show, he talks a lot about reptilians, that there's two types. There are the terrestrial-based reptilians that live here on Earth or in our inner Earth and are shapeshifters and walk among us. Supposedly, Hillary Clinton, the British royal family, are all reptilians.
Absolutely. 100%.
And then there are the extraterrestrial reptilians called the Dracos. They're one branch of the reptilians that come down from outer space to harvest us. We're food. We're supplies. We're a resource to them.
Nice.
And they're the ones that fight, that have a war going on with the good aliens, and it's just a mess.
We taste like chicken.
Yeah. Or pork. This is an example of one of the UFOs. I believe it was seen over New Jersey. It's a little bit cloudy, or it's fuzzy, so we don't have really much clarification to show you much what it looks like.
Kind of looks like the lid to the pot that I lost last week.
Could be.
I have to.
Hey, anything's possible nowadays.
Hey, I mean,
hey, you know, some of the earliest UFO photos, people would be throwing hubcaps in the air, would focus in on a lamp at such an angle that you couldn't see the rest of the lamp and say, oh, this is a UFO. They'd throw Frisbees up with glow paint on it or something. People in the early 50s and 60s did some strange things to create a UFO sighting and take a picture of it.
100%.
I mean, and then nowadays people can use AI. I watched this one AI video of something that looked like a viper flying around over like Los Angeles or something. And then I read deeper into it, and it was fan-created AI.
Oh, yeah.
You know, of a supposed drone. Do I got anything else after this one?
Yeah, this one pointing at you right there.
Okay, this is another gray. And like I say, there's some differences in grays. Like this one here is like a reptilian type gray. And supposedly it's more friendlier toward us. I mean, because it's a time traveler that's coming from our future, but yet also at the same time, these time travelers are here to steal genetic material. So go figure.
And due to the size of their eyes, and this is just me, and this is my theory, the size of their eyes, here, let's see if we can put this back up here. I look at that and I'm like, they're like on the outskirts away from stars. You know what I mean? Their eyes have evolved in such a way to become large because they can't have that much light.
Or the sun that they come from is a very low light star.
Dim, it's
like
dying.
Like a red sun.
Like a dark star.
You know, I would say maybe a red sun. Figure like Superman from Krypton.
Yeah.
All right, here's an early UFO seen somewhere over New Mexico,
That's
Arizona.
literally New Mexico. That's literally the Sangria de Cristos mountains right
That
there.
is one of the older UFOs that has been seen and sighted.
Yeah.
This is a classic UFO. This here is artist representation of the regular disc-shaped UFOs that have been seen in the mountains.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
And like I say, folks, we supposedly have remnants of crash UFOs, intact UFOs. It's enough to make you think. Now, I'm going to recommend you all look up a movie. You can find it on Netflix and Prime. It's called Hangar 19. It's about a UFO crash in the desert, about two NASA astronauts trying to find clues. And it's a really cool movie about how the government had tried to cover it up but failed. And it's an old B-rated movie, but it's a pretty good movie to watch if you want to get an idea of the depths of what our government could supposedly do. All right, folks, I'm going to leave it off here, and next week I'm going to do Cryptids of New York State.
Is that all you got?
That's all I got.
All right. We'll see y'all next week.
Thank you, folks. Be good.